Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only, and someone who got up at 5 a.m. Hawaii time to talk to us, Mr. Stephen Dow. How you doing, sir?
Good morning. I am actually I've been up every single day. It's just because the time zone difference. Coming from Texas, it's like 5 hour difference as far as
Sure.
time. So I'm getting up at 2:30 here, and it's 7:30 back home. So I'm walking around. It's just me and the maintenance crew basically
Yeah,
roaming the
that's funny.
hallways. But anyway, no, love to keep the consistency going. Again, taking a page out of your book as far as just daily discipline. Just keeping just
Just
doing
keeping
the
it
work,
real.
basically.
There you go.
Yes,
Doing
sir.
the work.
Yes,
I
sir.
love it.
Yes, sir.
Well, something I want to talk about here is, again, I think without question, the housing market is slowing down. We're seeing
Hmm.
transactions crash as we've called for.
Right.
I want to keep telling buyers and investors, homeowners and investors, that your experience from the last 2 years could be thrown away, forgotten. You don't have to overpay. You don't have to waive conditions. You don't have to do any of that stuff.
Mm.
But let's talk about seller credits. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that people don't really understand.
Hmm.
So in your, velocity more up, do the marketing thing, and then let's talk about velocity mortgage. I almost forgot.
That's okay. I was going to remind you, Nick. Although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So as far as the tools in a sense, and I've said this on other videos where I associate you with being like the financial weatherman, but
Mhm.
also maybe like the financial ace hardware guy. We're just pulling out tools out of the toolbox.
Yeah.
So as far as another tool in the toolbox, yeah, in this kind of environment right now, you should be definitely making including with your offer seller credits, because the worst they can say is no. But in this kind of environment, they're more likely to say yes, because if you're making the right offer and the
Mhm.
numbers still make sense, they'll take a little bit of a loss just with that credit to really take it off the market. Because right now, people are just dying on the vine.
Yeah.
Days on market are just even longer, less buyers, things of that nature. So, yeah, we're starting to see it. We allow up to a typically guideline says 3% towards non-recurring closing costs as far as seller credits. But on occasion, we can make an exception to that rule for a little bit higher. Not much. I mean, the most that I've ever seen them give for an exception was 5%
Mm.
towards non-recurring closing costs. I don't like to say that too often, because then most people are going to hear, oh,
Yeah.
5%, 5%, but it's really 3%. But every now and
Yeah.
then,
Yeah. So
if it's a strong
yeah,
situation.
let's talk about 3%. So let's
Yeah.
first off realize what people say. Let's say they're coming to you. It's a $400,000 fourplex, 100K a door. They're going to
Yep.
come to you with a 300K loan. So just a very boring 25% down, 75% LTV.
Sure.
What they can do is they basically have up to 9 grand. So that, folks, the math is very simple. 300 grand
Hmm.
times 3%. That's
Yep.
$9,000.
Yep.
So this is what some people don't understand. Let's say the seller is willing to take 9K credit.
Yep.
Some people will go, hey, instead of paying 400 grand, I want to pay 391.
Right.
And the seller goes, okay. So
Hmm.
let's do this math. I'm just going to do the
Hmm.
math because I
Hmm.
want it to be real. So again, right, we did the math first. 400K times
Hmm.
75% means you're putting 100
Hmm.
grand down, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So now let's do 391
Hmm.
times 75%. So now you're going to get a loan for $293,000.
Right.
So again, the seller gave you a 9K credit on purchase price, but
Right.
you're going to get about $6,000 off. You're going to borrow $6,000 less. So
Right.
this is what I'm doing wrong. So 293 minus
Are
391.
you comparing the
Yeah, yeah.
difference between? Okay.
Ah, hold on. I got to do this again. Sorry. 291. 291. I'm doing too fast.
It's okay. The way
5.75 equals minus 300. That's not
I
right.
didn't bring my mortgage calculator down with me, so I can kind
Yeah,
of do some calculations myself. But
yeah.
I would look at it more of the. It'd be better to do the seller credit, because you could utilize that to buy down rates
Mm-hmm.
or other aspects of the loan that I think in the big picture still saves you more money than just the 9,000 off the purchase price.
Yeah, because the
Because it
reason the 9 grand purchase price might feel better, like, hey, I got a discount, but
right,
you, the borrower, you are bringing more cash out of your account
right,
to the market, right? Significantly more cash. So that's
right.
you usually you don't want to do that. So we've done math in my course where we can take a deal from a 2% yield to over 6.
Yeah.
And then if we do the
Right.
50, 40, 10, it explodes. But
Right.
the whole right. So here's the deal.
Mm.
Here's the like A or B choice. Do you want
Mhm.
$9,000 off the purchase price, or do you want $9,000 in closing cost credits? The
Right.
answer from a math perspective is closing
Right.
costs,
100%.
because it's like a real $9,000.
Right.
$9,000 off the purchase price is not really $9,000, because you still got to bring
No.
all that money to the table. So
Right.
it's pretty funny.
And then you can utilize some of that closing cost to buy, like I said, buy down the rate, which then affects your overall monthly payment over the life of the loan. So in
exactly.
the end, you end up saving even more than the 9,000 that you just got off the discounted price. So it's just realizing where, to allocate that credit versus just like you said, oh, we got 9,000 off the purchase price, but I'm still paying X amount in interest, so I'm paying even more over the life of the loan. So there's just depends on your perspective and how you just allocate that credit. But agreed, it would be better suited towards the closing cost.
Yeah. So again, I want people to do the math, right? If you're in my course, you're my follower, we have a spreadsheet, you build yield. I want you just to play with the math. And
Right.
again, you can use this example, play with $9,000. If you take it off the purchase price, your down payment only goes down ever so slightly, but real money wise. If you do $9,000 on closing cost, and really what it boils down to is it's often a blend, right? Because 3%, usually like you could pay a point, which again is 1% times the loan, which will buy down rate. And then you can use the $2,000 to wipe out all buyers' closing costs. So you need to work with
a good chunk of it at least.
Yeah, a good chunk of it. You gotta work with a good mortgage broker like yourself to say, hey, basically, hey, I'm bringing you this, Steve. How best should I use it? Because for some people,
we do that all the
buying,
time. I do that on every single phone call because they'll think typically a concept, and then when we discuss the actual, meat and potatoes about the scenario, and then we just calculate the numbers. And sometimes I'll throw a different perspective on them and go, well, the way I see it might be better this way. Like an epiphany, a light bulb goes, you know what, that is better. So it just sometimes takes somebody that's a little bit more knowledgeable and to look at things differently, to use them as a sounding board to kind of be able to see from a different perspective, like, oh, I didn't even see it that way. So phone calls, emails, it just takes that time to sometimes really dig into it.
I think there's a couple of things that I want again, you got to remember the housing slowdown, and sellers are going to get increasingly nervous. Days on market are not really moving yet. They will move as we head into the slower season. We're going to see inventory grow, hopefully, but we will see days on market grow. So I want everybody listening to this to put 3% seller credits in every offer. Your first offer should ask for it. Shoot, ask for 4, negotiate to 3. Right? If the lender
That's how
does
it starts.
3,
you start high, they start low. You meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. So again, I think I would ask for 4 and accept 3. So let's be clear. I want everybody to know what I'm doing because I believe in doing that. 1, I'm no longer looking at first day listings. I'm only looking at listings over 30 days because I want to find seller motivation. I will not be offering list price on anything. And I'm going to be asking for 4% seller credit on every deal. It's just how it's going to roll. And again, I'm going to remember that some sellers will say no. Some sellers will counter. That's okay. We're in a market where I don't need to buy in August. I could buy in September. I don't need to buy in September. I can buy in October. My best deals, 80% of my best yearly deals actually come between Thanksgiving and New Year's. So I'm gearing up for that season when everybody's off vacationing, skiing, whatever they're doing. I'm going to buy some great deals, and I'm going to ask for 4% credit, negotiate to 3. I'm not paying list price on anything, and I'm only doing great deals. 30-year fixed rate debt.
I wanted to bring this up. We got into contract, or one of your students got in contract after making, that 50, 40, 10 offer, but it took a little while. And I don't know if this, the seller was just fielding other offers and maybe lack thereof. But I mean, 2 months later, we're in contract.
There you go.
So it took the seller to kind of like marinate on the situation and go, you know what, this is the best one.
Yeah, there are no other buyers. Again, folks, I've been doing this for 20 years. The market is slowing down. Sellers of property want out most of the time. If they don't, guess what? They'll just take it off the market. It's okay.
Right.
They're not motivated. It's okay. Go find the motivated sellers who've already I'm telling you, sometimes sellers have already mentally spent the money.
Right.
They're like, I already want to take this around the world cruise. I already want to do this. I already want to do that. Use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage.
100%. I mean, my neighbors up in Georgetown where I live. I mean, I think I told you that one had listed a house at 825, wishful pricing or wishful thinking. That was, I think, in sometime in May, but they're pending now, but they dropped the price down to 625.
Exactly. Use this to your
35
advantage.
days later, they lowered it 200,000. So
Yeah.
talk about motivated seller, brother.
Yeah, no, exactly. Go find them. And again, you
Yeah.
may have another neighbor who wants 750 and won't take a dime less. Guess what? They'll just take it off and wait. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
don't judge the seller. Write
No.
great offers. Write
Correct.
lower offers. Write under list price. Go get it.
Agreed. What's best for you? You know what I'm saying? So don't look at it for like, oh, I think just that old saying of, if you think you can do it, you're right. If you think you can't do it, you're right as well. So it's just sometimes just attitude and mindset to be able to really know that this is all possible. So the ones that are doing the work and the ones that kind of, are making the efforts to at least,
Yeah.
make the offer, because the worst I can say is no. So
There you
kudos
go.
to those people. Yes, sir.
Yeah, folks, again, please understand that you can get up to 3% seller credits. You should work with a professional who will do the math with you. That is Mr. Stephen Dow. How do you want them to reach out?
SDAO, SDAO at velocitymortgage.com would be the best way to reach me for the email subject line, the acronym ORAAT, which stands for one rent at a time, body of the email, brief description, maybe what you're looking for, property address would be great, at least in city and state to make sure we lend there. Best phone number to reach you at, mid-FICO score as well. And then within 24, 48 hours, I'll be in touch. I've got a small team right now taking over or covering my desk. So either myself or my team will be responding, but I'm still in Hawaii till Monday. But again, I'm still working.
There you go.
I can never get away. Yeah.
Thank you. And again, you're doing this at 5 a.m. I appreciate it so much. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.